Hi there, my name is Danny Foote. I'm sure everyone here has either hunted or knows someone who hunts. And if not, know someone who's been in a car accident or has personally been in a car accident involving a deer. Me myself, I've hunted all my life. I've had two of my best friends and my girlfriend's mom be in a car accident within the last 6 months to a year involving a deer. According to Calamus Outfitters, updated in 2011, there are around 300,000 deer just in the state of Nebraska, which is amazing if you really think about it. Deer hunting is important in today's society because of excessive deer populations, the destruction of the environment, and the needed for population control. After today, I hope that you guys can understand why deer hunting is important and why it's the best way to deal with this problem. If you live in Nebraska, there are three things you should see in almost every day: corn, deer, and eccentric husker fans. First, excessive deer populations are a major problem in the United States. Like I said before, there are 300,000 deer just in the state of Nebraska. They found this out doing surveys of wildlife. This is what the Game and Parks does most of the time. They do surveys, count animals, and give tickets to people. The Game and Parks of Nebraska had on their website that just Nebraska hunters alone harvested 88,034 deer just in the year 2010, which is amazing because we know the deer population is 300,000 and they harvested over 88,000 deer. That's almost a third of the population, and the population jumps back every single year. Now that we know that deer population is the problem, we need to understand why populations are going up. For one, the lack of natural predators in the wild. Us as human beings, we have eliminated almost all of their natural predators in the wild. Their natural predators were coyotes, mountain lions, bears, and wolves. Me myself, I've seen a few coyotes and a couple mountain lions from here and there. But I've never seen a wolf or a bear in the state of Nebraska. Another reason is the well-known fact of human beings' migration from rural settings to urban settings. This in turn leads us from having a lot of farmhouses to a lot of abandoned farmhouses. Anymore, if you drive around the country roads, you'll see far more abandoned farm places than occupied ones. This is a perfect habitat for a deer because you have good shelter and usually plenty of food. Second, now that we know the problem, we need to see the effects of the problem. The first effect is the destruction of the environment. Deer will eat pretty much any kind of vegetation, from your natural vegetation, from your grasses, weeds, and about anything else that naturally grows. And then they move on to your crops, your corn, your beans, anything like that. And if they actually get hungry enough, they'll eat the bark off trees. This is very devastating to the trees, because bark is what helps them combat diseases and just the weather. This is part of the reason we have so many dead trees out in the country. Let alone the effects on our actual environment, there's also effects on us. The DMV shows that there's 1.5 million car crashes in the United States per year. That is a huge number by anyone's standards. If you have to pay for these accidents, just the collision costs, it averages out to be $2,500. And if you have any injuries at all, it quickly bumps up to $10,000 as the average for a car and deer collision. The solution. Third, when you look at the solution, now that we know the problem and effects, next step is logically to look for a solution. Deer hunting is the solution because it's effective, it's cost friendly, and it's one of the most humane ways to do it. Most people right now are like, whoa, wait, deer hunting's humane? If you look at the other ways that they will naturally counteract the overpopulation, deer are renowned for contracting diseases, mostly Lyme disease, which they've had a very bad time in the last couple decades with. And they're one of the few species on the planet that can actually eat themselves to death. So if you compare to something starving to death to a quick death, I think all of us would pick a quick death over starvation. Another reason deer hunting is the solution is it's a huge moneymaker. According to the Game and Parks, there were 141,573 deer permits in Nebraska sold last year. Me being an avid deer hunter, I know that an adult permit costs $30 a piece. And my math is right. If all these were adult permits, it's $4.25 million, which is a huge number to just put into your economy. Let alone all this money we make from deer permits, there's also hunting equipment. Hunting equipment is a multi-million-dollar business. Look at all the stores you see nowadays. Cabela's, Bass Pros, Outdoors Unlimited. They all make great and huge amounts of money. Just think about it. If you want to deer hunt, you more than likely need coveralls, boots, jackets, sweatshirts, let alone guns and bows. A cheap gun's going to cost you $300 to $500. And a bow, you're probably talking $800. I've never understood why a bow costs more than a gun. It just doesn't seem right. Thus, deer hunting is important in today's society due to excessive deer populations, the destruction of the environment, and their harm just to us. Then we also looked at how hunting can keep the population in check while giving us a traditional hobby that's been around since the dawn of time. And it's a huge money maker in our economy. Our ancestors started hunting as soon as they set foot in this country. Therefore, we have set ourselves up to be one of the only natural predators left of deer. So it's kind of a corny saying, but it's almost like it's our goal and need to deer hunt. Therefore, I hope you understand why deer hunting is needed in today's society, and I hope that I've swayed your opinion. Done.